Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have another meta guide for you today. So we covered the Open Master League and now we're covering the Master League Premier Cup. So we had the Master League Premier Classic earlier in the season. So this is basically the same meta, right? It's just level 50 Pokemon. So it's obviously going to be more expensive, but it's essentially the same thing. Let's go ahead and dive right into it and see what we got going on for us in both the Open Master League as well as the Master League Premier Cup. Begin Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for the S rank, we have Florges. Florges, one of the best, actually definitely the best fairy type in this meta. Of course, it's not a non-charm user. It has Fairy Wind, which is really strong, gets the moves fast. Really powerful Pokemon. I'm sure you've seen Florges if you played in the classic version of the Premier Cup. Then we have Dragonite. So Dragonite is another strong one. We did have a Dratini Community Day, so this one might be a little bit easier to get as it's a level 50 Pokemon. If you're like me, you don't have the Florges, you don't have enough XL candies for Florges, but with Dragonite, you might have enough because of that Dratini Community Day. Then we have Gyarados. Another one where it might be a little bit easier to get the XL candies. Really strong Pokemon, of course, as we know with Waterfall and Dragon Breath. Both moves are really good. Even Dragon Tail is really good. But great Pokemon. Snorlax is another great one. Great safe swap all around. Snorlax is always a good Pokemon. Always a great safe swap in these Master League Cups. Then we have Metagross. You've seen Metagross a lot in the Premier Cup, right? I mean, Metagross, obviously, another great Pokemon. The best Steel type that we will see. So that's going to be the S rank. The A rank is going to be leading off with Garchomp. Garchomp going to be really strong Dragon type. It is walled for the most part by Fairy types. Of course, if it has like Earth power, it could hit Florges, but Togekiss is going to wall Garchomp. But still, if you can avoid that, it's looking pretty good. Dragon Tail as a fast move, Mudshot, both moves are good, really depending on the team. But Garchomp is a great Pokemon. Then we have Togekiss, so yeah, Charm user. Charm was nerfed this season, but it's still really strong Pokemon, and Togekiss, just one that you will definitely see. Even though Charm was nerfed, it was slightly nerfed, it's still a great Pokemon. So you'll see Togekiss, no doubt about it. Then we have Ursaluna, so Ursaluna with Tackle. Tackle was buffed, so Tackle is really strong with the high horsepower, Community Day move, and Thunder Punch. Looking to be, I mean, I've battled Ursaluna in the Premier Classic version. And you know, Ursaluna is giving me some trouble, so yeah, I mean, you'll definitely see it, no doubt about it. Really strong Pokemon to battle against, right? It's a really strong Pokemon to use. And then we're going to move on to the B tier. We do have Mamoswine as an ice type. So Mamoswine counts as a lot of Pokemon. Obviously the dragon types. It has the high horsepower for like Metagross, even though it's taking super effective damage from Metagross. Against Togekiss, it's doing super effective damage because it's a flying type. So yeah, I mean, it has a lot of strong matchups. Then we have Chestnut. Chestnut is a new addition, of course, with the Frenzy Plant. But, you know, could be pretty good. You probably have enough XL candies for this one if you played Community Day, if you're level 31 or above. You probably have enough XL candies for this. But, yeah, I mean, pretty interesting pick. Definitely the best grass type we have, for sure. Then we have Machamp, a really good fighting type, or Shadow Machamp. I like the Shadow version, but a really strong fighting Pokemon. We don't have many fighting options in the Master League Premier Cup, and Machamp is one of the best ones. And then we have Kommo-o, another Dragon type with Dragon Tail. So yeah, I mean, pretty strong Pokemon. And Excadrill is a great Pokemon as well. If you happen to have a hundo, if you happen to have enough XL candies, it's a really strong Pokemon. It's going to do well against, it could do well against Gyarados because it has Rock Slide, depending on if Gyarados has Waterfall. Obviously, you don't want to be hit with Waterfall. Going to do well against the Togekiss. It's going to do well against the Metagross. It has a lot of great matchups. Excadrill is a great Pokemon. Even Dragonite, although you do have to watch out for the superpower as well. Okay, so that's going to be the SA and B tier for you. Moving on to the other options, we have Avalugg with Ice Fang. So Avalugg, I battled this quite a few times. I was actually surprised at how often I saw this Pokemon. But no, it's pretty good Pokemon. Obviously, there's so many dragons in this meta, so hey, why not? And then we have Conkeldurr, another fighting type. Conkeldurr is a great one, similar to Machamp. Both of them are great. I've seen double fighting with both of them as well. So yeah, really good Pokemon. Then Swampert, another decent one in the Premier Cup. Hydreigon. Hydreigon's okay. We have better dragon options, but I've battled Hydreigon as well with the Dragon Breath Brutal Swing. not a bad one. Then we have Sneasler, we have Aurora. Some of these Pokemon might be okay. Hisuian, Avalugg, they're not going to be as good as like the SA and B tier Pokemon, but they could be okay. Sylveon is another charm user. Sylveon is another charm user similar to Togekiss. So if you happen to want to go double charm, Sylveon and Togekiss, great way to go. Or Primarina, right? Primarina we're going to talk about in a little bit. But yeah, it could be a decent way to go. Then we have Walrein. Walrein, yeah, I mean, in the Master League, not as good as it is in like the Ultra League, but you know, you see it occasionally. Gudra's another Dragon type. Then we have Roserade as the Poison Jab user, and Primarina. So Primarina, as I mentioned, does have Charm. It also has Waterfall. I've battled teams with Charm user, like Togekiss and Primarina, but Primarina has Waterfall instead of Charm, so it's not a Charm user. So Primarina, as a safe swap, is good on those teams, so you could lure out a possible Metagross, and if it's Waterfall and you lure out Metagross, well, first of all, you're not weak to Metagross, you're taking neutral damage, right, because you're a water type that resists the steel typing, and the Charm obviously is, or not Charm, but Fairy is weak to it, and then Waterfall is doing neutral damage towards the Metagross, so it's a great Pokemon. I really do like Primarina. But let's go ahead and move on to the solid team options. So for the first team is going to be a double Fairy team with Garchomp in the lead, Togekiss and Florges, but it's not going to be double Charm. It's going to, double Fairy, and you could lure out a possible Steel type with Florges, right? Or even Togekiss. So lure out that Metagross, lure out that Magnezone if you happen to battle it, and then Garchomp can battle the Pokemon, and maybe you could sweep with the Togekiss in the end. So yeah, I mean, generally an ABB team, of course. The next team is going to be Togekiss in the lead with Snorlax as a great safe swap. Snorlax is always a great safe swap, right, as I mentioned earlier. And then you do have Metagross in the back, but I think Snorlax could lure out, I mean, it would lure out a fighting type if your opponent happens to have it. A lot of times, like if they don't have it, a lot of times, like let's say you safe swap into Snorlax, they'll throw an attack and then pivot out because they can't beat Snorlax one-on-one, so they have to chip and dip, essentially, right? That's how great Snorlax is, unless there's a fighter in the back. And then another team is going to be Gyarados in the lead with the Ursaluda, great safe swap Pokemon in my opinion, and Metagross. So Gyarados could have Waterfall. I do like Waterfall a lot, especially on this team, because if you don't have Waterfall, Excadrill is kind of going to be a difficult Pokemon to handle, right? Because Metagross, of course, is going to be weak to the Drill Run from Excadrill. So I do like the Waterfall on this team. And then the next team, we're going to have Dragonite in the lead with Florges, great safe swap, and Excadrill. I think that's a pretty good team. The next team is going to be Metagross in the lead, double fighters. I did mention earlier that you could run double fighters with Machamp and Conkeldurr, and I've battled it before, so obviously the backline is going to be really weak to Fairy types, so if you could possibly lure it out with one of the Pokemon in the back, probably the Conkeldurr, because if they have the Togekiss, you could still really threaten it with Stone Edge, right? I mean, I know Machamp has Rock Slide, but you know, you can threaten it with Stone Edge, do heavy hitting damage, maybe pick up a shield, and then of course Metagross can come in and farm down. Although Metagross will have to shield the Flamethrower from Togekiss, but yeah, I mean, great team all around in my opinion. And then we have another team. We have the final team going to be Excadrill with Double Dragon. So of course, well, Gyarados is not Dragon. But both Pokemon don't really like Togekiss, especially the Dragonite. If you're running Waterfall and Gyarados, it's fine against Togekiss, it's fine against Florges, but if you're not running it, if you're running Dragon Breath, it's kind of going to struggle, but Excadrill can fight those Fairy types. Probably go with Waterfall on this Gyarados, just because it has a better matchup against, obviously, the Excadrill, the opposing Excadrill. It has a better matchup against Metagross, right? So yeah, I'd probably go Waterfall on this one. And of course, Excadrill is going to be able to, so the safe swap is Gyarados, because if you switch into Gyarados, chances are you might lure out a Charm user, and if you do, the Waterfall damage, of course, is going to be neutral towards the Togekiss, as we discussed. But anyway, that's going to be the Master League Cup. Again, this is Master League Premier Cup, so not Classic. They do have to be level 50. If you don't have them level 50, try to get them as high as possible, right? But yeah, let me know which league you're going to be playing. Honestly, I'm going to be playing I don't know which one I'm going to play, because I'm probably not going to invest in, because here's the thing, like, I'm already legend, so I can go in with level 40 Pokemon if I choose to, and if I lose because of it, oh well, you know what I'm saying. But if I wasn't legend, I would invest in some of the Pokemon I have the XLs for. When it comes to Dragonite, Gyarados, Metagross, I do have XLs for that, Garchomp. The reason I am not investing right now into the Pokemon is because I know they said that next season they're not going to have any more XL Cups, they're going to be retiring them, but I want to see if that's actually true. If it is true next season, then I will invest in these Pokemon. If they decide to backpedal and change their minds, at least I won't have invested in the Pokemon, because that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to invest in the Pokemon and then them decide to change their minds because there was an outcry or something, and then I already invested in the Pokemon and I don't have anything for the Classic Cups, you know. That probably won't happen, but that's my thought process right now. I am waiting until next season to see what is going on. And if they don't have any XL leagues for next season, then I will start to invest in some of these Pokemon towards level 50. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.